place for them.
Watch 1226 on your side, wherever you go.
News 12 would like to wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
On your side, this is News 12 First at 5.
This holiday season, many families are left wondering how they're going to put food on the table, how the community is stepping in to help. But first we begin with COVID. 11 more deaths have been reported in the Palmetto State. First at 5, an online transaction meetup in Richmond County turns into a car chase and ends with both the seller and the buyer arrested. Originally, the buyer was needing to get a cell phone. After giving the seller the cash, he jumped into his truck and drove off. The buyer in a Mustang followed him while calling 911. After pulling over near X-Mart towards Molly Pond Road, a deputy stopped both cars. Neither of the men got arrested for the chase. Instead, deputies found drugs in the truck and arrested the seller. The driver of the Mustang was also arrested on outstanding warrants not related to this case. Also new this afternoon, the Richmond County Sheriff's Office is looking for a man in connection with an armed robbery and carjacking. Deputies want to question this man about an incident that happened yesterday. His identity and his relation to the crime are not known at this point, but if you have any information, you're asked to contact the Sheriff's Office. An inmate was found dead at Charles B. Webster Detention Center today. 31-year-old Travis Smith was pronounced dead at 10 o'clock this morning. Medical personnel entered his cell to find him unresponsive. They gave the inmate CPR, but were not successful. Deputies suspect he died of a medical condition. Another inmate death, this one at Columbia County Detention Center. Former Richmond County Deputy John Sharkey was found dead in his single-unit cell around 5 this morning. Last month, Sharkey went missing and then led police on a car chase after family reported he was having suicidal thoughts. When staff found Sharkey in a cell, he had a bed sheet tied around his neck. They tried to help him but could not revive him. Officials say he was last checked on about 30 minutes before they found him dead. Criminals are using drones to transport drugs into prison. The Calhoun County Sheriff's Office caught this one dropping a package into Calhoun State Prison in Georgia. Inside the package was 8 pounds of marijuana, 8 pounds of tobacco, and 15 cell phones. The Sheriff's Office say they stopped 8 of these in the last week alone. 39 people have been arrested in the last 2 months. Food insecurity has been on the rise since the pandemic started, and with the holiday spending and kids off on break, families are left wondering how they're going to put food on the table for Christmas. Desperate times call for desperate measures. Celeste Springer drove around with the family Y, who's serving meals for the first time on Christmas Eve.
I'm surrounded by thousands of boxes of food here at the Family Y, and this isn't even all of it. There's 5 other rooms filled to the brim, as well as 2 refrigerators and a cooler truck outside. This is usually something they only do during the summertime, and this is the first time they'll be doing it right before Christmas. The people here say it's going to families with kids out for the holidays. Mobile food trucks are stopping in Harlem, Warrenton, Richmond County, and Thompson. The people at the Y say they've seen an increased need this year. Typically, they distribute 200 to 300,000 of these meals each year. This year, they'll have given out around 1 million.
Families are still unemployed. That's the call that we got earlier in the week from the Housing Authority. It was like rent or food. What can we do to help the families? And so that's kind of what the Y is all about. It's about serving their communities where they are and meeting those needs.
And coming up at 6 o'clock, we'll hear from some of the people who need these meals the most during the pandemic. In Augusta, Celeste Springer, on your side.
Thanks, Celeste. And the question I'm sure kids all over have been wondering, where is Santa right now? Well, guess what? You can track Santa, and he's actually on his way to Norway. So kids here in the CSRA, I'm sure Santa has a good while before he gets here, but hey, he will be here soon. Riley, how's the weather for Santa this Christmas Eve?
Santa's unfortunately going to have to deal with a little bit of wet weather out there and possibly some wind and some cold temperatures, but nothing he's not used to, being from the North Pole. For us here in the CSRA, we're not expecting Santa until after midnight, most likely between midnight and 2 a.m., so be sure you are in bed and ready to go as Santa heads down your chimney. He is going to most likely see some dry weather by that time frame. By midnight to 2 a.m., we are expected to be drying out, but that is when that cold air is going to be moving in. We are expecting this rain to stick around for us the next several hours, not anticipating this rain to really be east of the region until we get to around 8, 9, 10 o'clock later this evening. Heavy rain at times, especially in the southern CSRA between Millen and Girard in central Burke County. That's currently where the heaviest rain is out there this afternoon. We're not anticipating severe weather, but we could definitely see some gusty conditions pick up as we head later into this evening. Those west winds are expected to be pumping, and that's what's going to bring in that very cold air behind all this rain. But if you're heading out to the Christmas Eve services, generally dry after 8 o'clock across most of the area. Or if it's not dry, that rain is going to be moving over towards the east. Now, current look at temperatures. How about this? It's 36 degrees in Atlanta, 61 degrees in Augusta. And we'll have a look at your full forecast in just a little bit.
And if you're looking for some holiday cheer to light the night, this map shows you the best spots into the river region to head to. The Google document is complete with addresses to show the best light displays. And if you want a link, you can head over to our website, wrdw.com. But stick with us this afternoon because we're going to give you a live look at some of these locations that have awesome light displays. Well, in the Low Country, over 114 families got food last night, and it's all thanks to church members who gave out the blessing boxes for free, filled with plenty of sweet treats for everyone.
Great news is I only pick things that we would put on my table, so we made sure that they had it on their table. So we even had Mrs. Smith's apple pies with the best whipped cream you could buy.
Bailey says the need they saw in the community last night only gives them fuel to keep giving during the holidays. And if you need a ride during the holidays, you might be in luck. While New Year's is a busy day for rideshare apps like Uber and Lyft, Christmas and Christmas Eve tend to bring drivers to a standstill. Many use it as a main source of income and depend on it. Drivers say it can be hit or miss when it comes to the holidays.
New Year's probably be pretty busy. Christmas, not so busy. Like, I'm at the front of the, what we call the queue, and I'm at the front of the queue, and I've been there for, oh, wow, about 2 hours, and haven't got anything.
And don't forget to tip your drivers who are continuing to give their service during this pandemic. We'll tease the season for giving gifts, but not for surprising people with pets. Veterinarians are suggesting you do your research before rushing into a commitment with the pet. Many say people get swept up in holiday cheer only to lose their want or the need for the animals. They say people shouldn't buy animals on impulse because it can end up being a lose-lose situation for everyone.
A couple months after the holiday season, then you start seeing the shelters become overrun with animals.
And if you're buying presents for the pups you already have, be careful when buying rope toys. My puppy destroys these. Vets say they can get swallowed and cause serious digestive issues. And even though the Atlanta Symphony Orchestra is shut down, they're not letting that stop them from spreading holiday cheer. Musicians from all over were invited to submit a video playing Ode to Joy. In the end, they got over 800 submissions with every instrument imaginable. Sounds great. It's hard to sit still when you're listening to that. I'm constantly over here doing a little dance. Well, conductor Jerry Ho says it was the perfect way to honor Beethoven's 250th birthday. Definitely a great way to celebrate that. Sounds great. Well, imagine being selected to get a home from Habitat for Humanity and then, boom, COVID strikes. Well, that's what happened to a single mom. Her story after the break.
And rain will be coming to an end later this evening. We'll time that out for you and take a look at a very cold Christmas day just ahead.
or not.
And I'm John Ossoff.
And we approve this message.
And check this out. We're live outside one of the homes from the Christmas lights list we showed you earlier. This is actually in North Augusta, but some pretty cool decorations going on there. And you can see it looks like a Star Wars theme, a lot of different things going on. I see some reindeers in the back. And yes, Baby Yoda is very popular. He's very cute there holding the candy cane. But I love this. Again, this home is in North Augusta. Very neat. Well, a single mother was approved for a house from Habitat for Humanity back in February, only to be told a month later construction had to be halted. Now workers are back on site. She can finally tell her kids they will soon have a space of their own. Abby O'Brien has her story.
As volunteers work on a cold December day, they know they're building more than just a home. For single mom Olga Brown, this will be a dream for her and her kids.
The happiness just to know that it's getting closer and closer, even though with COVID and everything going on, it's a blessing. It's a blessing.
When she applied for a home through Habitat for Humanity, she never thought she would be selected.
And then when I got the letter back in the mail, I was like, oh my God, it's about to happen. So it's been really, really good.
But there have been setbacks. Director of Development with Charleston Habitat for Humanity, Kristen Williams, says the pandemic put a lot of work on hold.
So we laid the foundation for her house in February and March, and then kind of had to sit for about 7 months before we got to get back on building. And then also the cost of materials, particularly lumber, increased 30% during COVID.
They also limit the amount of people who can work at a time.
Wearing masks and social distancing on site.
She says there is an increased need in the Charleston area, and they're hoping to build more homes in the new year.
So we're just going to keep building and doing what we do.
Brown can't wait for her children to have their own space.
To the Habitat family, the volunteers, everybody who participated in building my home, like, you have made a dream come true.
A work in progress to build not only a home, but also hope.
A dream come true for sure. To be able to get a Habitat for Humanity home, future homeowners must complete 400 hours of volunteer work helping build their house and other surrounding homes. And depending on your area, you may also be required to take classes on personal finance and home maintenance. Well, here's another look of Santa and where he is this Christmas Eve. He is in Switzerland, so he is just making his way around town, or around the world, I should say. Earlier, he was in Africa. But Riley, he is just in for it when it comes to weather.
Definitely. He's going to encounter a big old strong cold front out there tonight as he does make its way towards the U.S. So currently over Sweden, I think we just said he was there. And remember, you can actually go to our website and track Santa in real time. We actually have the NORAD Santa tracker on our website if you want to check that out. And we are anticipating most likely going to see Santa approach South Florida near the Miami area around 11:50 p.m. So that puts him over the CSRA right around, say, 12 to 2 a.m. So around midnight to 2 a.m. That's when we're anticipating Santa to make its path over us. So make sure you are in bed and ready to go by that time frame. We are tracking a good bit of rain out there this afternoon. This is thanks to a very strong cold front that actually brought a number of tornado warnings to eastern North Carolina and South Florida. They're dealing with some severe thunderstorm warnings. And on the cold side of this, we're actually already tracking some snow flurries up in North Georgia. Unfortunately, no snow in our forecast. That cold air just not going to reach us in time. But we are anticipating this rain to stick with us at least the next several hours. So currently 5 o'clock. Next 3 hours at least, we should be seeing this rain move through. And it will be heavy at times, definitely in central to eastern Burt County here, about to cross over the Savannah River towards the Savannah River site, definitely tracking some decent rain. Those rain rates could be heavy at times, but not anticipating flooding or severe weather for the rest of tonight. But the winds will be starting to get fairly gusty. So as soon as this rain moves out, we're going to bring in some very windy and cold conditions by late tonight and tomorrow morning. As you wake up for Christmas Day, those temperatures are going to be in the upper 20s. But when you factor in the wind, it's going to feel like 20 degrees out there early tomorrow morning. And with those high temperatures Christmas afternoon, even though they may hit 40 in a few spots, we're only anticipating those wind chill values to really top out near freezing by tomorrow afternoon. So one of the colder Christmases we have seen in a number of years. Looking ahead to this evening, so there's all the cold air moving in behind the rain that we're going to see moving east of us. So where you see these warmer temperatures, that's basically the last of the rain that's going to be moving out. This is the dry, cold air that's going to be moving in. So by tomorrow morning, we're going to be feeling like the upper teens in Saluda, possibly even Aiken to the low 20s for us here on the Georgia side of the river. Definitely the coldest morning we have seen so far this season. Now, by tomorrow afternoon, we're expecting those wind chills to not really get out of the 30s by any means, really feeling like 31 or kind of a max temperature out there tomorrow. Now, Christmas Day highs tomorrow generally heading near 40 degrees, and that's actually the coldest Christmas we have seen in a number of years. Looking at our past Christmas high temperatures here in Augusta since 2016, definitely going to be a far cry from the last 4 years, so definitely bundle up with any plans out there tomorrow. And we are expecting to stay dry through the weekend. Saturday, mostly sunny for us. Same thing on Sunday. Those temperatures are gradually going to be increasing, especially with those high temperatures. But Saturday morning, we are expecting actual temperatures, not wind chills, but actual temperatures to be down into the mid to low 20s. So Saturday morning is going to be very frigid. Same thing Friday. But heading into next week, those temperatures do bump up for us. And then another front brings us rain by the middle of next week.
Santa's job hasn't been easy in 2020. Still, he's strapping up his boots and spreading holiday cheer. How he's doing after the break. Santa's doing his best this holiday season to spread more joy and less germs. He's having to work harder than ever before, but that isn't slowing him down much.
There we go. My name is Ted Pedrick. I'm Santa Claus. He is definitely an essential worker because he is the one that brings the joy and keeps everybody's spirits up. I'm down about 50% of the appearances that I had last year. Can you hear me okay? For some reason you're muted. Everybody's trying to work out something different. I have a Christmas tree right over here. Parents want some semblance of normalcy for their kids to see that Santa Claus is still around.
I just love my clothes are bananas.
I really want to go out there rather than being on the internet and doing a virtual Santa over the internet. It's scary. I mean, I try not to think about it, but you know, I think it's always in the back of my mind that it's there. We all have to stay safe. This is going to be really difficult doing it behind a glass like this. Right here. Right here. You move it a little bit this way. Trying to get the people to understand, you know, what you're trying to do. No, I guess not. My sign language must not be good enough. We're doing the best we can under the circumstances we've been dealt. I mean, this is fun. It really is. You know, and the enjoyment of it, of watching the smiles and getting the response back from the people. That's what makes it. We need to have these kids feel like it is normal.
Hey, buddy, how you doing?
I don't think it could ever be the same.
You gotta stay there until you hear my sign.
But it's similar to what we're used to.
You ready to open presents?
Jingle bell! Jingle bell!
We all need that joy. We all need that semblance of familiarity. No matter what, Santa will always be around. That's what Santa does.
For tomorrow, if you get a new lawnmower and you just got to test it out, bundle up. It is going to be very cold and breezy throughout the day, Christmas Day. I'm going to look at that full forecast just after the break.
Follow News 1226 on Twitter to keep informed with the latest happening near you.
Taking you to another location in North Augusta. This is a different house from the Christmas lights list we showed you earlier. And oh, this is so neat. Look at little UPS truck. Oh my goodness, this is so cute. Looks like Santa's loading up his gifts on the UPS truck. So Santa could be coming into town in a UPS truck, it looks like. Not a sleigh this year.
That is awesome. Big brown truck, Santa's sleigh. I love it. Take a look at our community calendar. We do have a big snow day at Wesley United Methodist Church. This is happening Saturday between 7 and 10 a.m. And luckily, it'll be cold enough to actually support snow. So if you're planning to head out there Saturday morning, those temperatures will be in the 20s and 30s. So a perfect opportunity for a snow day Saturday at Wesley United Methodist Church. We got a lot of rain moving through this afternoon. That's going to continue at least for the next couple of hours for us. This front's going to continue to just push off towards the east as we head later into this evening. You can still see a good bit of rain in store for us, at least for the next couple of hours. How about this, though? Portions of the southern Appalachians, North Georgia, actually seeing some snowflakes and even some sleet and a few flurries being reported around metro Atlanta. For us, we're not expecting any of the S word. No S word for us. Just rain expected the next couple of hours. That cold air just not going to reach us in time. But some of this rain, as this continues to catch up to us, we definitely could see some gusty winds, and that's anticipated as we head in late tonight, early tomorrow morning, especially in those areas where we are starting to see some heavier downpours. So that's now portions of Burke and Barnwell County, and actually kind of close to the Savannah River site, where hopefully a lot of people have the day off today. Now, our wind advisories, those are going to stay in effect through tomorrow evening. So we're not going to get rid of these wind advisories until Friday at 7 p.m. This is just for the threat for some gusty conditions, but as of this afternoon, the winds haven't really been impressive whatsoever. Less than 10 miles an hour currently across the entire area, but as this front gets closer towards us, those winds are anticipated to pick up. So not ideal for getting on the lake tomorrow, and I'm not sure if you would really want to, since temperatures only making it close to 40.
First at 5 continues after a short break.
Únase a mí todas las noches con las últimas noticias del CSRA, Noticias del Día, en wrdw.com y nuestra página de Facebook.